found a bunch of old records. Gotta love the Bee Gees. Speaking of finding things, I also found a bunch of old books. So anyone who's ever sat through elementary school and gone through the perilous adventures of the Scholastic Book Fair will know that there are many books to choose from. Some of them are very well known and wonderful books that you will still enjoy reading as a high schooler. Some are really random not so great mangas that you'll end up remembering and being slightly ashamed of. Some of them are just really crappy books that you don't want to buy. And then there's a plentiful amount of series in which you can partake in. So today I have put together my 4 favorite books that I found at book fairs that I still enjoy reading today. Number 1, Maybird, which I don't think I've read the rest of this series. If it is a series, I guess it is. This book I read with my sister and my friend when we used to go camping, and it was very scary to me then. I don't think it's really too scary of a book. It's got some pretty creepy cover art though. I mean, like, look at that cat. And that ledge. Maybird. Number 2. Moving on to one that may be more well known is the Mother-Daughter Book Club. Sorry if all these books are kind of girly, but you know me, I was kind of a girl in elementary school and I'm like, ooh, look, a pink book with books on it. Bookception. Which is actually exactly what this is about. How many girls are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first book in a series in which 4 girls who are all coming from such different families come together and hate each other for most of it. And they're in a book club with their parents. They're reading Little Woman in this book, which I can't remember if I've read. I don't think I have yet. I need to. It's on my list. Yeah, just read it. Getting this pile of things that I pull off my shelf that I'll have to put back in like 5 minutes. On to the last 2 books, which are personally my favorite, starting with Crisscross. So number 3. Crisscross is actually one of the books that I think I've read the most since we've got it. I think I've read this book like 4 or 5 times now, and it is never disappointing. What are the names? What are the names? I do not know. Hector, that's a name. Is it Debbie? It's not Debbie. Oh, her name's Debbie. So Debbie and Hector, it tells the stories of their lives for a year or so, and it's not really in the way that you would expect it to. They both go on extremely different adventures, which are kind of crazy, and at times seems like it doesn't have a plot, yet at the same time it does. It definitely has a plot, I can promise you that. And it's very interesting. This book was probably the 3rd book I read that made me actually think a lot about people in general, and how everyone has kind of a unique life, and just great things from this book. I would definitely recommend it to anyone, high school, younger, adult if you feel like it. It's a fun book to read. And finally, one of my childhood favorites, Every Soul a Star. So this book is about 3 characters, Allie, Bree, and Jack, which they pleasantly print on the back, unlike every other book ever. So Allie, whose family lives on this farm kind of place, is out in Timbuktu, whereas Bree is a city girl and Jack is also a city guy, not a girl. For some reason, they all end up on Allie's farm, which I won't tell you why, because hashtag spoilers. Now, Allie's farm place, whatever it's called, is named Moonshadow. Not a farm, it's a campground. Allie's campground is called Moonshadow. It is a very good book. It does a lot talking about, it's another one that's from different perspectives from everyone through the story. Each chapter switches out between Allie, Bree, and Jack. And I just think these kinds of books are really interesting, especially when you're a younger reader, because it gives you a way to see into the other characters without being very obvious about it. Also, it's got super pretty cover art, so it looks really nice on your bookshelf. Last note, book in the back, Jeremy Fink and the Meaning of Life. So-so book, but it's got a cool cover.